On November 27, 2024, Syrian anti-government groups launched an offensive in northwestern Syria. According to Reuters, within a few days, they seized control of more than 70 settlements in rural areas and broke into Aleppo, Syria's second-largest city. The head of the Syrian Observatory for Human Rights stated that government forces left the city with almost no resistance.
It seems, as of now, the leaders of the armed groups, the leader of Hayat Tahrir Sham HTS, they give clear instructions to their fighters not to harm any civilians, not to attack any properties, to try to control the city militarily. I think they are in a way inspired by Taliban experience in Afghanistan. So they are trying to copy that model. So they are trying to control the city, and they are trying to let the locals to control the city.
The Assad regime in Syria is actively supported by Iran, Russia, and the Lebanese terrorist group Hezbollah. Unsurprisingly, when anti-government forces launched their offensive, the Syrian president urgently traveled to Moscow, according to Aleppo today. Meanwhile, Russian and Syrian aviation carried out strikes on positions held by Assad's opponents. Reuters reports that Aleppo and other settlements that had fallen under the control of anti-government forces were bombed, with civilian casualties confirmed.
Syrian regime Russia warplanes targeted residential areas in the city of Idlib, including Salah ad-Din School and the Al-Andani fuel station. The attacks resulted in the deaths of 4 civilians and the injury of 25 others, including 8 children and 6 women. The airstrikes also caused a large fire at the fuel station, as well as damage to the school's wall and several civilian homes. From the Syrian Civil Defense White Helmets publication on social network X.
Moscow has promised additional military aid to the Syrian government. According to Reuters, citing sources, the weaponry is expected to arrive in the coming days.
It seems that Russia, because the Russian army has moved and transferred the most advanced air warplanes to Ukraine, now they were not able to intervene straight away in the last 3-4 days. Now they just started to intervene just now, after 4 days after the armed groups were able to control the second largest city in Syria. I don't know if they can really be able to push them out without making huge damage for this big city, which there is about 5 million civilians are in the city.
The offensive by armed opposition forces in the region was made possible partly because of pro-Iranian groups, including Hezbollah, focused their efforts on the war against Israel, according to the Associated Press. Representatives of anti-government forces themselves say that this campaign is a response to the airstrikes by Russian and Syrian aviation on Idlib, where in mid-October Russian aviation carried out strikes on 27 different targets. Reported by Anastasia Tarnavska, Nikita Skoblikov, UATV News.